What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to episode 3 of my free-to-play account series, where I am playing on a completely new account for 2024 as an alt account and trying to get as far as I can without spending money, and I'll be explaining my process the way through and also be live streaming some of this on YouTube so you guys can see the entire process in detail. So as you guys can see, I'm rank 19, and I am actually in adventure, still in episode 1, but we're at 7-10, so we're pretty far along. This is the second day of playing. You'll see from my check-in event here, I'm on day 3, because I've been playing for 3 days total now, I guess, because it just happened, the reset just happened. But the biggest thing here is on day 3 is we got this attack set. So this attack set is the best early game set that you can get for damage dealing. It's very, very important that you actually keep this and use it. And on day 5, we get another set, which I'm very excited for, is the health set. This set will make your progress immensely easier by having your front line be a lot more tankier and actually not die. So as you guys can see, we're talking a lot about gear today because that's the focus of today's video, today's episode, because I think gear is a big factor that scares a lot of people in gacha games. They don't want to, miss out on good gear. They don't want to waste all the materials when enhancing gear. So I'm here to tell you all the basics about gear, especially in the early game, and how you actually want to progress. So we're actually going to talk about first and foremost how you actually get gear in the early game. Of course, you get this gear that drops from monsters, right? Level 41 gear. These are pretty crappy. You don't actually want to use them. In fact, whenever you get these, it's best to just sell them like this. Now, if you're in the super early stages of the game, you can always equip these, but very quickly you'll come to a point where, especially when you get this check-in event gear, this level 75 and the 70 gear, where you won't need them. But after you get to that phase where you get that check-in event gear and the Adventurer's Path gear, any piece that's like level 70 or above, what you can actually do is start selling these pieces. And the reason why you want to sell these is because it'll give you this powder, which you can use to enhance your gear. Now, how you actually get gear that's good is a completely different story. So, as you saw, check-in event, right? You got the 2 sets, health set and attack set you get. You also get a set at the end of Adventurer's Path for Free Spiritaria. So I highly recommend for Free Spiritaria, not only is she a great unit, so by doing this, you're just, building her, but you also get a speed set at the end, which you want to have. You'll use this into your Wyvern team, which is going to be your main area of content where you're farming gear, which we'll talk about in a future video very shortly because it's a very important topic. But this set is very good. And like I mentioned, Free Spiritaria is such a good unit that while you're building her, you're not losing out on any materials. She is an amazing unit for early game, mid game, and late game for PvE. So once you do get those sets, what you want to do is start enhancing them, right? When you enhance them, you want to kind of spread it out evenly. Because once you get it to higher ranks, it will cost more and more materials. And also, you're only really looking to upgrade this main stat. So at every level, the main stat of the piece will go up. So for damage dealers like Free Spiritaria, attack percent is very nice, crit damage is very nice, right? Attack percent for units that are tankier, like once I have this health set on Montmorency, like health percent on the necklace, health percent on rings. So it's very, very nice. Now, what you want to know about gear, just the basics. Every 3 levels, you'll have a substat randomly go up between a certain amount and a certain amount. There's like a roll on it. You have to get lucky. There's good RNG and bad RNG, which is the gear RNG in this game. So every 3 levels, your substat, one of these health, attack, speed, or crit chance for this piece, for example, will go up randomly. And every level, like I said, the main stat will go up. Now, the left side pieces, weapon, helmet, and armor, they all have fixed stats. And what I mean by that is weapons will always have flat attack, helmets will always have flat health, and chest pieces will always have flat defense. For right side pieces, there are a variety of things you can get. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but for example, if you look at this ring here, for the ring slot, you get attack percent, you can get defense percent, you can get flat attack. Generally, for damage dealers, just to make it very simple, what you want for the necklace is critical hit damage. What you want for the ring is attack percent or effectiveness if they have debuffs. And for boots, you want speed or you want attack percent as the main stat. For a tank such as Angelica, Montmorency, Ross, Clary, basically Soul Weavers and Knights, as you can see on the top left here from their class, what you want is health percent on necklace, you want health percent on ring, and you also want speed or health percent on boots. That's generally what you want to look for in the early game. That's all that really matters, to be honest, especially until you get into Wyvern, Wyvern 13 to be specific. So if you're just looking for that, you'll be good to go. Now you're probably asking, okay, so I have 4 units in a team. Right now I only have 2 or 3 sets, right? I have this attack set, and I have this speed set, right? Check-in event attack set, the speed set from Free Spiritaria, And let's say you have the check-in set from day 5, you have the health set, right, for your tank or your front line. Then what about the last set? You know, there's 4 units on a team. I'm missing 1 set still. Where can I get those pieces? Well, there's a lot of options. First off, you have this Hunt Expert Challenge. So if you go to ongoing events here, if you scroll down, you'll see the Hunt Expert Challenge. Once you actually finish stage 1 and get to stage 2, you're going to see that once you complete stage 2, you'll actually get another damage dealing set, which is perfect. You have 3 damage dealers and 1 tank/healer. Usually healers can be the tank as well in this game. And you can actually equip that on your units right away. Just keep in mind, when you choose Hunt Expert Challenge, please choose Sigrid. Sigrid is pretty much like needed to actually progress because she is the best damage dealer for Wyvern, which is why she's in the Wyvern Hunt Challenge. So if you want her, you have to click Wyvern. It's the first hunt you want to farm. And if you choose Banshee or Golem on accident, you're going to see complete the current hunt mission the first to activate another hunt. You're going to have to complete that entire quest line before you can get to Sigrid, which is very bad. Sigrid is very important for Wyvern because she makes it very easy. So if you make that mistake, honestly, I'd say if you're not too invested, re-roll your account. Otherwise, you can stick through it, and there's other alternatives to Sigrid, which we'll talk about when we talk about Wyvern. But Hunt Expert Challenge, definitely want to do this. You get another set at the end of stage 2, which is very good. Just please make sure you choose Wyvern. Another area of content you can get gear from is from Abyss. So in Abyss, it's something you want to do every day. You get 3 tickets a day. You want to use all of them. If you can't progress anymore, you can always purify. It won't reset it. It'll just give you this gold and stigma here, which is nice. But on like floor 12, for example, you get a level 57 piece of gear starting from floor, what was that, 12? 13? Yeah, 12. So yeah, and you can see if you scroll down even more, very quickly at like stage 50 something, I think you get level 71 pieces, right? So very good pieces of gear for the early game. You definitely want to get through Abyss. Even goes all the way up to late game, and honestly, once you get to the later stages, some of this gear is extremely powerful for the late game. So definitely an area of content, even though it's one time that you want to keep doing, because it'll give you some gear that you can use in the early game. Especially this like floor 12 gear, even though it's not great in the late game, you can just slap this on your quote-unquote 4th damage dealing unit, and it should be good until you actually start farming gear from Wyvern. Also, Labyrinth is a good source of gear. So in the first few stages, you're going to see you can get some other 57 gear as well. This is very nice to get. But later on, once you get to the other areas, you can get like 71 gear, 80 gear, which is extremely powerful. So you definitely want to make sure you're progressing through Labyrinth. You have to do it anyways to get some achievements and to get other things unlocked. So a very good source of gear there as well. Also, if we head into the shop here, another extremely good source of gear, which people don't really take advantage of in the early game, is the Conquest Shop. Now, I'm not talking about the season gear that's like super expensive, that it's going to take forever to farm currency for. If you scroll down, you're going to see the discounted ones from previous seasons. They're very good pieces here. For example, Gallantry season. Even though it's not great into the late game and the mid game, early game is still very nice to have, especially because it's super cheap. I've only been playing for 2 days here. I haven't even been playing arena that much, and I have enough for almost 1 piece. Also in the victory season here, you can see speed set, best set in the game. You'll use this pretty much all the time. For example, this helmet is very nice on tanks because you have health, defense, and speed, and effect resist. If you scroll down even more, you'll see like these boots are very good for damage dealers. You have attack percent, speed, crit chance, crit damage, right? Just sounds like a lot of damage. But the most important thing here is this ring. I'd say that you want to actually prioritize this ring first and foremost. So like as soon as you have 540, you want to buy this because you're going to need a lot of these effectiveness rings for Wyvern, because effectiveness is needed to stick your debuffs on bosses, and debuffs are required for Wyvern. So just take my word for it. I'll explain it later. Just please buy this ring first and foremost. It's very important. You're also going to see some other sets here that might have some decent pieces of gear. It's really up to you and depending on the sets that you want. Honestly, in a later video, I'll probably talk about the best pieces to buy in the early game from here because it's kind of like a long video. But like, for example, this crit chance, this ring here is amazing, right? You get speed, crit chance, crit damage, and attack percent. You could probably even use this into the late game for PvP, which is very nice. Some of these pieces are just extremely useful, like this as well. So there's a lot of pieces now actually that are extremely good. So I think Conquest Shop, definitely you're going to want to invest into. And if you look into even the later seasons, the ones that are less discounted, you'll see even better pieces of gear, because higher equipment score generally means better pieces of gear. So make sure you do your arena, guys. Like, arena should be something you're doing pretty much all the time because you're getting conquest points here. And when you run out of flags, what you can actually do is use your friendship points here to buy more flags. These are easily farmed. So you can actually buy this every day and just do more attacks. Please do this. Very easy way to get a lot more conquest points. Don't use your sky stones. You want to save that for summons, but friendship points are a very good way to do it. Also, keep your eyes out for events, guys. We might have some events running. This one just ended, crafting event. This can give you pretty much a perfect piece if you are playing when this is running. It's a very good way to get gear as well. But yeah, overall, you're kind of just waiting for the check-in events, and while you're waiting, you want to do the Free Spiritaria quest line to get this, and while you're waiting for other stuff like Labyrinth and Abyss to start gearing even more, you can do some adventure mode to progress in the story. You can also, of course, farm some arena points, right? Arena is very easy in the early game. There's a lot of bots, so you can farm that. You can even farm the NPCs, which will give you a ton of conquest points as well. But in the meantime, while you're waiting to build your Wyvern team, which is going to be the first area of content you farm, you can actually put this gear on your Free Spiritaria, which is a very good adventure mode unit. You can put it on your Spectre Tenebria, and once you get your health set, you can put it on your Montmorency, or your Ross, or your Clury, whatever Knight or Soul Weaver you're having in the front. And your fourth set, you can put it on your Saria, whatever DPS you're using. I'm using Terranor Guard right now, so I'm using him on some of my secondary gear. Yeah, that's pretty much how you want to gear in the extremely early game. It goes by pretty quick. Once you have all of your check-in gear, your arena gear, some of your arena gear that is, and your Free Spiritaria gear, you'll be able to progress through Hunt pretty easily. You're going to see, right now I'm already at stage 7. I can start farming level 70 gear, which is already pretty nice for early game. Once you get into the late game, like once you start to get to Hunt 11, you'll be able to farm level 85 gear, which is very, very nice for your account, and you'll be able to progress super quickly. All of the early game gearing is honestly just for this Wyvern hunt. Eventually, you'll move all of your gear over to your Wyvern team, which will consist of what I recommend if we look here, you can see, I think the top free-to-play team is this team. Sigrid, Furious, Mui, and Montmorency here. Very easy to build, very free-to-play friendly team. The only unit you have to summon is Mui, which is a 3-star, very easy to get. You'll eventually get him. And there's honestly even replacements to him, such as Clarissa, Alexa, SSB if you have her, you probably don't. But there's a lot of other alternatives to her or him. So as soon as you get those units built up and you start farming Wyvern, or you want to farm Wyvern, you just switch all of your best gear onto them. You farm Wyvern for a good few days. You can even use your Wyvern team in adventure mode. They're still very effective there. And you can start gearing your other units. So yeah, if you guys want to see more videos like this and found this helpful and you want me to continue the series, make sure you guys hit that like button and let me know down below. Also, let me know what you guys actually chose from your selective summon and from your Moonlight Blessing. And honestly, if you guys are completely new to the game, I think this game is very, very free to play and newbie friendly, so you should not find too much trouble. If you guys are finding trouble, make sure you guys also let me know in the comments and I'll try to help you out.